Okay?
Noch ein bisschen runterziehen, oder?
Ne, so, dass es halt irgendwie nicht so kacke aussieht. Genau. Okay. Tony, whenever you're ready, we can go live.
Hello. Excited?
Morning. Morning, morning. Huh? Okay, it looks like we're live. Just get Tony to confirm that we're live. Okay, cool. Hello, everybody. This is the first morning warm-up from a long sessions of live streams that we're doing here from the world's largest water sports show, the boat show in Düsseldorf. We are from behind the mask. And I think we have quite an interesting lineup for you guys. You know, we thought if you're a diver and if you take photos and videos underwater, then that automatically makes you an ocean ambassador. And I think if we make a good effort together to improve our skills to do that, then we have the chance to inspire people to care for the ocean and eventually protect it. And that's why we've been inviting a lot of interesting people who do that on a very professional level. And if you've been following us before the show, then you know that we've been collecting a lot of questions, real live questions from the underwater image making community, and we're gonna ask those questions to our guests. And I would like to show you first who is coming today, because this is just a warm-up that we do like in family style together, but 11:15 we have our first guest. If we can show that, Tony, in the stream. Can you show the thing up there so that everybody can see who's coming next? Because at 11:15 we have Casey Astrup from Norway. He's a cinematography, professional working on real movies like James Bond, and we're gonna hear from him what the difference is there. Because usually what we do is opportunistic filmmaking. We go in the water and we see what's going on, and then we try to capture the moment. And this guy has to set up everything beforehand and get exactly what the director wants from him. And the way he does that is sometimes very creative. So we're going to hear about that. And then at 2 o'clock, we have the great honor to host Alex Mustard. If you never heard about him, then you're probably new to underwater photography because he's doing that over 30 years and he's been winning all awards. He's a very nice guy. And we will talk with him about general questions you had regarding wide angle and macro photography. And at 3:30, we will have Laurent Balesta live on stage. And he will tell us a little bit about one of his recent projects, which is called 700 Sharks into the Dark. And if you happen to be here at the show, you can also see his amazing expedition. We're looking forward to hear everything about expedition photography. So make sure to tune in later on. Anyhow, anytime you feel like you're having a question, just use the comment function below the video and let us know where you're watching from. Share the live stream with your friends who might be interested in seeing about it, or just tune in later because everything we do here will be online for a long time, so we can always come back to it. So the main theme that we have, we call it Together for the Ocean. And if you've been following us, you might also been taking part in our little community video project. You've been sending us, 1,500?
1,800?
1,800 video clips of your special emotional ocean moments. And we had the great pleasure to assemble them into our first community video. And this is the premiere. We're also going to launch it on Facebook later on. And at this point, we also have to apologize a little bit because we originally thought we can make a video using all the cool clips that you guys sent. But for the moment, we could only use all the videos in the preview picture, as you can see. And we promise we will make a longer video where everybody who sent a video will be in it. For now, this is kind of the opener for us. We hope we have a great week together, learn a lot about photography, filmmaking, and get inspired by all the guests that we invited. So this is the video that basically you guys made. Can we show that on the big screen?
Let's get together. Let's get together. Let's get together. Everybody, let's get together. Let's get together. Let's get together. Like family. To where the sun don't end, the sun don't end. Not gonna play the fool, because it's from within, it's from within. You're taking all this time to get it right. Now it's your time for the honey. Yeah, it's your time for the honey.
Oh, nice. Okay, so this is all your footage. I hope you're happy with us putting all of this together. If you've been following us before, you also know that there's a lot of things that you can actually win during the week. We have published 7 videos, right, Vanessa?
7.
And can you tell us a little bit about what we can actually win and how does it work?
Well, it works essentially if you comment in one of the videos, so if you comment in YouTube or Facebook below the video, ask your question about the specific topic, which is inside the video, so freediving, cold water, drones, and all the rest. And then you automatically take part in the competition to win amazing prizes.
And what kind of prizes do we have?
We have underwater housings from Nauticam, we have great trips to Tonga, we've got trips to Palau, we've got amazing trips to the Orcas in Norway, we've got easy dive housings,
yes,
and tons more.
ISOTA monitors, screen.
ISOTA monitors as well, and of course, if you want to say it now already, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, should we reveal the big special guest that we have today and over the whole week? If you've been following us, you also know about Naomi Gittoes from Australia. And she's doing all the amazing artwork that you see here. And it's also something that you can win if you comment on the freediving video. Naomi, we were super happy to have you here with us. What are you going to do during the week?
Thank you. I'm super happy to be here. I've been having so much fun with you guys. Very inspiring sitting here drawing. I've just been creating some artworks of some of the speakers. So this is the first one. I don't know where.
Oh, can you give it to me? I
I
would
can
like
give it
to
to you. I give
put
it
it
to
in
you.
the camera. Tony, can we show that?
Yeah,
This is
so,
what Naomi does basically just like on the side in the evening, sitting in her room in her own world, doing that. If you realize this one is actually the first picture for Casey, who is coming at 11:15. And we're going to see more of those?
Yes, I hope to make one of just about everybody. And then we'll make a little exhibition on the side wall, I believe.
Okay, cool. So if you happen to be here, you can see how Naomi does it. And you can kind of tune in her very relaxed world, you know, which is kind of crazy because the show is very busy and there's a lot of people, but you're going to sit there like a little, in your little bubble.
This is my element, art, creativity, and you guys. Couldn't ask for much more than that.
Perfect. So what are we giving away for the winner from your side?
Well, we actually have 2 pairs of fins. These are my designs, my artworks on diver fin blades. So they're freediving fin blades. I believe they're soft composite ones. This one here with the gold logo on it, that was the first design I ever made for Divar about 10 years ago now. So I've been collaborating with them for about 10 years. And
How does it work? It doesn't look like a fin.
it
Yet.
doesn't look like a fin yet because you pick your foot pocket in your size and then you join it.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And this one is printed on it?
Yeah,
right?
so the artwork is created on paper or canvas, and then it's scanned, and then it's sublimated into the fin blade. So that's never going to be coming off. And this other set here was made for the wonderful Hamdan.
Yeah, this is a custom-made one for Hamdan. And
Yes.
everybody in the team is very jealous because everybody was like
Very
not
jealous.
really tough enough to ask Naomi for fins, but Hamdan did it already, and he got his very own design. What is special about those ones here?
They're special because they're a story that Hamdan basically inspired me with, which is about Bangladesh and his culture. And you'll see the lotus, which is the national symbol, and the national flower. And there's the flag, the red with the green in the background there. I don't know what the surfing dinosaur is about, but it's really cool. He likes dinosaurs. The great wave, which I think is symbolic to all ocean people. And of course the tiger. And so, yeah, and then the back there's some aliens and some other wild stuff going on.
Some aliens and some hammerhead sharks. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Well, I don't believe this is going to stay with you for a long time. I think there's a lot of people super jealous about this. So, okay, cool. Great. And I think there's something else we give away, right?
Yes, we have these prints. Do you want to
Should I just hold
hold them up? Or I can hold them up. You hold them up.
I can do that.
Yeah. So these are some canvas prints of my original artworks. This cephalopod design is actually used for some of the diver fins, so you can get fins with this artwork on it. And that one's upside down. And this is my image called Reef Life, which is on a lot of the dive gear and things that I'm designing now as well. So, yeah, that's
Great.
part of the prize as well.
If you guys haven't seen it, check out especially the Instagram of Naomi, because you can find a lot of inspiring photos and things about the artwork. I think it's applied on many different things, right? Not only on the fins, or you can hang it on a wall, but you can also wear it, right?
Yeah, I just started a 2017 eco fashion brand, which is just Naomi Gittoes, which is actually made from fabric that's sourced from recycled marine debris, so ghost gear. And then they take that and they melt it down and they repurpose it into fabric.
Oh,
and then
nice.
we're using that to make really funky stuff for freedivers, so moving away from the traditional black gear.
Okay, cool. And
Yeah.
what are you working on right now?
Right now I'm working on the next image for the next speaker. There's not a lot to show with this one. It's just kind of, there's some
Okay.
sharks happening there. But
So you
that'll
s-
develop through the day.
You start with the background?
I work in all sorts of different ways, but I felt inspired to start with a background so that we build on something. And yeah, so if you come and see me sitting over here during the day, that'll start to develop into an image later on that's something more like this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Super cool. Okay, so we give the. Okay, what is the question? The question is?
The angle of the blades. Angle of the blades. I'm not sure exactly how to answer that, except that's the angle of the blades.
Are those like normal all-round freediving fins?
They're normal all-round freediving fins, yes. And so that angle, so that when you have them on, it's kind of, that's where your foot naturally hangs, so that when you're in free fall position, they're hanging straight behind you. That's the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you do those designs always on the same model, or you can choose between different models?
You can have carbon or composite, and there's also different lengths and widths available. So some of the more sort of petite people, they might want the fins a little bit shorter, but we can custom make them, and I work closely with Daivar, who's wonderfully flexible with people's ideas. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. Thanks a lot. We're really happy to have you with us.
Thank you.
And as this is kind of a little family warm-up for the day, we thought before we really start with the professional guests that we have, we should maybe start answering some of the questions that we had. Are you up for that?
Yeah, sure.
I know we've been dealing with questions for quite a long time now.
Yeah.
And I think there's one thing about the questions. I mean, in the beginning we thought, yeah, you guys just ask your questions and then we're going to answer them. And now it's already getting a little bit out of hand because we have so many questions. And we're not going to be able to answer all the questions during the show. But we will have all the questions, and we categorized. Sonja categorized like thousands of questions, different topics and subjects, and who's potentially be able to answer that and stuff like that. So we're going to produce. I hope I don't overpromise, but I think we're going to produce some of the.
We're definitely going to make tons of more tutorials in the future with all of these questions.
So you already get more ideas. What do you think is like a hot topic if you read all the questions?
A hot topic is wet lenses.
Wet lenses.
Yes. When to use them, why to use them, what's the benefit. So that's going to be a whole episode for itself, and maybe a whole episode on the wide angle wet lenses for compact cameras, maybe one for the higher end cameras, and then of course the macro magnifiers. So it's going to be a lot.
Okay, cool. So I would say we play a little question and answer game and see who's able to answer the questions that we have here. The first one from Dominic is, what kind of lenses do you prefer for underwater photography and videography? And do you want to have like a zoom lens, or is like a prime lens fine for you? What is your answer on that?
My favorite. Well, my favorite all-around lens would be the 12 to 35 2.8 for the Panasonic GH5, just because it's so versatile. But
so that means you would prefer a zoom lens because you are more flexible.
It's also wide-ish still, a bit, but it's sort of like if I don't know what I'm going to expect, and I'm only bringing one camera, then that's the lens I'm going to put on it. And other than that, it's the 45 macro, which is one that I love.
Yeah.
That
I think it's a general thing that
favor thing.
I mean, like to be more flexible, to have like the ability to shoot something super wide, but at the same time also go closer in. Yeah. That like really helps a lot.
Sure.
So I totally agree. I'm on the same side with that. The main thing is it needs to be very wide, right? At least in the beginning, it needs to be very wide. Okay, if you have only one lens to take to your Panasonic GH5, there's basically the same answer. For you, it's a.
If it would be the macro.
The 45.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. For me, it's the 714, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, a very wide zoom lens.
I don't like that lens.
Mac or Windows for editing? That's pretty cool. Windows. Because we don't agree on this. Right?
Windows.
Mac. So a Mac
my father is a software engineer, so I grew up with like Gateway 2000 was my first computer with 10. Flew in from America. So ever since it's been Windows. I tried Mac for 2 years, but no chance.
Okay. So, but we can say I think the best editing that you can use is the one that you know.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it actually doesn't matter. It's just a tool.
Yeah.
So as long as you know how to use it, you can make magic with it, and it doesn't matter what
Definitely.
brand it is. Yeah.
Maybe.
But for me, it's a Mac. For her, it's a PC. Okay. And the editing program, the software. What are you using for videos and photos?
For photos, I use Lightroom since years, and for video, Adobe Premiere Pro.
Okay.
So
Lightroom, same here, but Final Cut Pro on a Mac. Well, it's an endless story. How did you get into underwater filmmaking? What was the process? How long are you in this industry now? What were the biggest obstacles? I think this is a general question for Behind the Mask, right? It's not something that we
yeah, maybe.
can. Yeah. Okay.
So then you would have to
It's
answer.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of simple thing. We are actually not really coming from the diving background. We've not been divers before and say like, hey, because we dive, we also need to film it and document it that we can show it to everyone. With us, it was kind of the other way around. We've been filmmakers before, and we thought there must be some great potential to tell interesting stories around the ocean. So for us, it was basically more, I don't know how you say that, but the approach came more from the side. And of course, in the beginning, it's just fun, and then all of a sudden, you see there is a lot more to do, and there's also a chance to create like a bigger family team and a community around it. And so there's never been a plan. There's still no plan, even though it might look like this sometimes, that there is no plan how to do that. We basically just try to have a good time and get better in what we're doing and having fun doing it, and that's basically it. And the biggest obstacles, I think the biggest obstacle is always to make it like, to integrate it in the normal life, right?
Time.
Because some of us still have normal jobs that they have to do every day, and so it's not easy, to always get the time and the resources to actually follow that. Okay. Next one. Since I can imagine it is not easy to choose the best clips and trim them to a fraction of the moment, but also finding adequate music, what is your approach? Choose the music first or last?
First.
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 I totally agree.
Definitely first.
Okay. And I think if the question is also how to pick the right clips to use in a video, I think it's very, at least from my philosophy, I think it's very important to trim the clips and not show it always entirely.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you have an amazing shot of a shark swimming by, the moment it turns around is the moment you have to cut it.
Yeah.
So that there is always, if the viewer feels like he's seen everything, he's also trying to hope that there's something new coming, and this thought is already, in my philosophy, already too late. You should always be a little bit faster than the eye of the viewer. It's debatable because it's all about social media, fast and also kind of shallow sometimes. But if you want to have your videos being seen by people and they want to be entertained by it, I think you have to be rather quick and rather, powerful. Okay. Oh, this is a good one for you, Vanessa, because I know you've done a lot of research on that.
Oh.
What do you do with a tripod?
What do you do?
What kind of tripod are you using? You make your own, or?
It's a mixture. It's depends if I'm shooting macro or if I'm shooting wide. If I'm shooting macro, I will mainly use the Exit 404, and then I'll have a roller.
Okay, I think we have to explain that. This is basically a base plate
with extendable arms.
With extendable arms, which
legs.
Basically kind of look like the same, like the arms you have on your strobes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a
strobe
little
arms.
ball head and a clamp. Okay.
And then you can screw in spikes if you want, depending on if you're on seabed or on rock or on whatever.
Okay.
So yes, and then the important part for me is that I add a video head on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit tricky with my housing, so I have to fiddle and sort of put an AK Swiss and another AK Swiss and then another one to get it stable enough, but it works. And for wide angle, I use the rock solid Alpha from Rollei, which is similar.
So just a normal tripod then?
It's apparently for underwater usage, you have to really clean it.
Okay, yeah, this is another
That's,
thing. I think it
that's
need to be aluminum or
carbon.
carbon or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This
So-
is, I think.
And well, if anything is metal, then it should be stainless steel. Otherwise, it's gonna rust.
You say rust?
Rust. What's
Do we
the
say
English?
rust, Naomi?
Rust.
Yeah.
Rust.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I think you can basically use any tripod. I think
Yeah,
the
I
most
mean, the-
important thing it has to be a little bit heavy, right? Because if you put your camera on it, it need to be kind of
should be
kind of stable.
Negative. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the most important part is the cleaning. So
Afterwards.
I guess we're gonna have a whole episode on how to clean your tripod.
Soak it, right, for a
Yeah.
couple of days,
Yeah.
I think. Okay, what cameras are you using for your amazing underwater films? First of all, thank you, Semra, that you think the films are amazing. I think there is not really a specific camera we use. We use different kind of cameras for different kind of projects. Vanessa is using a GH5 as well as Hamdan is using a GH5. We also use a lot of red cameras because they can shoot raw, and so you have to worry about less things while you film in the water. You can do white balancing and things like that later, which is a good thing. But I think because we see here the question what camera and amazing films, I think the camera actually doesn't have to do anything with how amazing your film's going to be. Because the film in the end will be about, capturing a moment or transporting some sort of emotion. So it's more about the story. And if you remember, I don't know, your parents, grandparents, they had a television that was that big and it was black and white. And everybody was sitting in front of it, totally fascinated by what they see there. So it's not really about how much the resolution is and how great the colors are and everything like that. It's nice to see that, but a good story beats everything,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Good. I think we can go on with this forever, but this is basically the morning setup. We're going to sit here together, chat a little bit about internal questions that were pointed directly towards us. And then, because it's early in the morning, the show is not super busy yet. We just sit here and chill out a little bit, wake up, embrace the day and benefit from Naomi's calm bubble, painting cool stuff. And then at 11:15, we will talk to Casey about underwater cinematography, a guy who shot a few underwater scenes for, I don't know if it's the latest, but any of the James Bond movies. And then Alex Mustard at 2 o'clock and Laurent Balesta at 3:30. So leave your comments, follow us, enable your notifications and all of that, and keep in touch and write your comments and questions because we will be able to react to everything that's going on social media. Okay, cool. So see you in half an hour.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.